We find ourselves out in the wild once again, and you know, there's something we haven't seen ever since we completed that last cauldron. And that's trying to override a storm bird.
Get out of here.
As you can see though, it takes quite a while for the override meter to fill.
It won't hold.
And now to watch it just let loose on the local machines. There is, however, one attack we have not yet seen from a Stormbird. And yeah, let me tell you how intimidating that looks when it's aimed at you. Well, with those long legs taken care of, there's no real reason to stick around. The Stormbird's gonna maybe try and bother some other machines, but for the most part it's done. Looks like this poor Lancehorn is in for some trouble though. But we've got some places to be, and there's an Oseram settlement nearby that could use some of our help.
They must be awesome. They've put their stamp on this place.
So, if we're going to offer our help, we should probably go and speak to the person in charge.
Well, well. Always told Derval a woman would undo him, and he had it coming. I've calluses older than you.
I have calluses enough if you want to test me.
She sparks. I believe it, Flamehair. Petra Forge woman.
Aloy. Machine hunter.
Machine hunter, eh? Huh. I could have a use for you. Straight of it is, we're being muscled out of our own claim. That's why I've been working on this scrap-spitting beast. It's a dispute settler.
What is this place, Petra?
The Free Heap. Free because we answer to no one but ourselves, the metal, and the dust storms. And the heap's back there. A scrapyard, piled by Oseram past, from the leavings of the old ones. Breathe it in. Get the smell in you.
Smoke. And sweat.
Living in the trees has dulled your senses. I can taste 5 metals just in my spit.
So all this scrap was left by the ancients. Was it a battlefield?
Stockpile maybe. Or a rubbish heap. Packed so tight it all fused together. Those old ones tossed away more than we'll ever know.
But don't you want to know? To understand what it all meant?
Nah. Some delvers spend their whole lives trying to make sense of it. Not me. What it means is there's good smelting here. Yeah, don't need to understand a forest to chop down the trees for your arrows.
If you did, you'd know Ridgewood makes better shafts.
Careful, you'll scald your tongue with that fire. I don't pine for the old ones. They had their time. Their works are finished. All their inventions are under mountains now, rust on bones. My sisters and brothers of the Forge will make a new world.
So you're a Forge woman. You run the Forge and the town too.
The town is the Forge, and everyone pulls their weight. The right way to do it, without all the Eildermen having their say. If we were back in the claim Oseram land, 3 days argument anytime someone wants to hammer in a bolt.
Sounds infuriating.
Oh, it is. But we like arguing. You need hot air to keep a furnace burning. Still, some traditions aren't up for debate. I would have ended up Petra Forge wife. How do you like the sound of that?
I don't think it fits you.
Good answer. That's why I left. I was still young from the Forge then. Could make anything of myself before I cooled in my ways.
So you left your homeland and came here?
Went to Meridian. Everyone does. Joined the work gangs on the Great Elevator. We finished just as the Mad King got a taste for blood. So I spat and swore I'd find a place for everyone who stuck with me. We lived job to job until the war ended. Then we came upon this old Oseram camp. Long abandoned, metal piled up high. A place to start again. Place to leave my mark. When I was your age, I thought the lasting mark came from the hardest strike.
I suppose you know better now that you're an elder.
Trade secret.
This weapon you're working on, I've never seen anything like it. Your design?
See my face in it, can you? This one's mother helped reclaim Meridian back in the day. A job like that isn't done with strategy. They needed to shake the walls, turn the mad Sun King's army to blood and feathers. What's that face for?
Weapons with such power.
It's not the weapon, Flamehair, it's the wielder. If that siege had touched the Great Elevator, they'd have answered to me. Good work, that elevator. Story in every chain link. I'll make you suffer them one day if you like. This beast doesn't have a story yet. Too heavy to carry, eats metal like a snap maw.
You said you're being pushed out of your territory.
Out of the junk heap. A pack of scrappers came snuffling in just after we opened a good seam of weapon parts. And now we've got a standoff with a gang of bandits at our foundry. They blockaded us out. They're sitting on our power cells. Guess they like shiny things. Well, to finish up our defenses, I need those parts and cells. In and out job. Keep your hands clean.
I'm not afraid of getting them dirty.
Aren't you a blast of air from the bellows?
Well, it sounds like they're having some trouble with some nearby bandits, but the weapon that Petra was talking about is right here, and thankfully we're going to get a pretty hands-on look at how it operates a little later. First though, we have to get the parts that'll fix it up, and unfortunately that means we have to go through a couple people first.
If I had right of rule, I'd have taken the town first. More slaves for digging up lightning boxes.
Then make your claim for it when the others get here. Won't be long now.
Well, it sounds like if we don't hurry, the bandits might start attacking the town, so it's a pretty good idea to take care of them now. Now, whether or not you actually take care of all of the bandits in this area doesn't really matter. We're mostly here for the parts anyway. But it doesn't hurt to take some of them out in the meantime.
Ah! Where's it coming from?
All this scrap. Dragged here from who knows where and when.
This part isn't really that bad, so long as you stick to the rooftops here and the scaffolding. Nobody can really get you without you being able to get, well, all of them first. It's a little precarious trying to jump up here, but it leads to a pretty good vantage point. Thankfully, this bow is so overpowered that for most of these people, you don't even need a headshot. A simple body shot is enough to kill them.
Okay.
Look out, it's her!
Bandits have a good defense. Better spot all their sentries before I look for the power cells.
Well, it seems we don't need to actually look for them all because they are all at least somewhat alerted. But for this next section, it's just going to be me perched up here picking everyone off, so let's just fast forward through that. Now there is one more person down there, but they're kind of out of the way, so we're going to have to backtrack a little bit if we want to take care of them. And that should be everyone for this little area. Now we can just collect the power cells in peace. This part does get a little scary though, as Aloy's downward platforming is not the best. But now that we're safely down, we can scavenge for all the parts in the little scrap piles that are around here.
There, a power cell. Okay, done. Now to get into the scrapper's run and find those weapon parts.
You'll get yours when the clan blows in. Town's good as torched.
Okay, so thanks for that, whoever that was. It seems like the bandits are getting ready to actually attack the town, so maybe we should get over there after we've picked up the weapon parts. The parts are just on the other side of this ridge here, being guarded by, well, at this point, not really an intimidating machine type. So it looks like it's just a bunch of scrappers over here, and let's see if we can't add someone to our side of the fight to even things up a bit. Just gotta find the right time to go.
Lots of scrappers prowling. Hope they haven't stripped the parts already.
Well, that should keep a bunch of the scrappers busy for a while, but there's no reason we can't help out. And thankfully, scrappers are as weak as ever to fire ammo.
The scrappers made that pile. Strange. Are they natural?
I'm not entirely sure where our friend went, so looks like we're doing this part alone.
find something Petra can use. Fast.
And with the last of the scrappers, there goes the rest of the trouble. Looks like not only are there a bunch of piles of scrap around here, there's also some really, really old dead machines, as that Deathbringer is, even still intimidating after death.
Back to Petra. I've been in the scrapyard long enough.
And back to town we go with the parts.
Petra, I have the parts you wanted, but there are more bandits coming. The rest of their clan. They want to take the town.
Do they now? Hold this thing steady while I give it a voice. Then we'll let it talk terms for us. Now take it up and brace yourself. Don't press it against your hips if you ever want to use those for...
All right, I got it.
Well, now it's time to see what this baby can do.
Heavy. All I can do to hold it up. Ugh. Come on, man, if you're coming!
Run this forged dirt town red, boys!
Heh, manners!
So if you saw the giant pile of molten ammo in the basket behind us, that's what we're using. This machine, which is more of a mortar launcher, sort of grabs everything from behind and then fires it out the front.
She's working well so far.
You can see a bit of an ammo counter of sorts right next to the reticle in the middle.
Room for improvement on the gun. No complaints about the gunner.
And that lets us know how many shots we'll actually fire. You don't have to wait for the meter to fill all the way up, but it certainly helps if you do.
Anyone but a bandit clan would pull back now.
Come on, you bungheads! They only have one cannon!
Yeah, but it's like a really, really good cannon.
They're gathering under the bridge, Aloy. Bring it down on them.
What? It's your bridge.
Bridges come and go. Shoot it down.
Oh, boy.
Whoa! Might have overdone it a little. Now, I'm no soldier, but I'd call that a rout.
And I would definitely call this thing a weapon.
Oh, my teeth hurt from all that.
That's interesting. Need a leather strap to bite down on, perhaps. We'll give those wretches a sky burial. That's fancy talk for leaving them out for the birds. More than they'd have done for us if this thing didn't work.
If it didn't work? It could have not worked?
It isn't finished. That's why we're testing it. Now, you had your Nora toys to fight with. Saying goes, you can only trust metal. But my trust was placed well in you. You're owed, Aloy Machine Hunter. I won't forget it.
Neither will I, Petra. Whoa. Still feel the lightning snap in my hair.
So that certainly was a very fun weapon. It would be a shame if we never saw it again, which is a good thing, because we are going to see that again. And if you think, well, it's kind of late in the game for that, there's a very special reason. In the meantime, there's one more person here who could use our help.
Are you looking for something?
Can't see hide nor hair of my friends. They went after a herd of behemoths, and now they're overdue.
Only seasoned hunters go after machines like that. Can't they handle themselves?
It's not them I'm worried about. We need special cables from those behemoths to keep our cannons firing. If they miss the herd, Petra will hand me my hide. I never should have agreed to that trade.
What trade did you agree to?
Petra assigned me and Baladja the task of getting cables from that herd. But Jorgris and Baladja are meant for each other, like hammer and steel. They just don't realize it. So I agreed to trade duties with him to, you know, hurry things along.
Didn't Baladja wonder why?
It was her idea. Now I'm worried it worked too well. If they're so busy snogging that they missed a herd, it'll be my skin on the line.
Where did you last see them?
Right here, before they left. Off they went, arguing the whole way.
What were they arguing about?
How best to follow the herd. Jorgris is good with a bow, but he could get lost in his own home. What have I done?
Why not explain what happened to Petra?
If you want to tell Petra, be my guest. Maybe she'll blow her top at you and tire herself out before she gets to me. I would run off in search of them, but since Jorgris took my place, I have his spot on guard duty.
I can look for your friends. Where have they gone?
They were headed to the Arch, northwest of here, to watch for the herd. I hope they've found their way there. If we miss that herd, we won't be able to keep our cannons firing. I'll throw myself into this fire if I've risked our freedom.
Let's keep that as a last resort. I'll do what I can.
Well, that's certainly an interesting development. Now, we probably shouldn't mention this to Petra, but I think it'd be better if we did.
Always so pale. A few minutes at the forge, the heat'll put some color in your cheeks.
I don't need a forge for that. Rushing into the wilds should do it.
What's lit your fire this time?
I can handle it.
No doubt you can, but if it involves Free Heap, I need to hear about it.
You sent 2 hunters after a herd. They've gone missing.
Well, they couldn't have. Caleb could find a needle in a slag heap. Unless he didn't go. Careless, two-fisted smelter. What'd he do?
Traded places with Jorgris.
By fire and spit!
What are you gonna do about this trade?
Waste of Caleb's time and mine. Jorgris and Baladja didn't need his push. They're bound together. Just like in the forge. You let the weight of the hammer do the work, not the arm. Never figured Caleb for a tender sort.
You're not angry?
Oh, I'll make him sweat it. But one thing I've learned, some things will happen no matter what you do.
Why did you need behemoth cables from that herd?
Those cables make the best fuses for our cannons. Even so, they wear out fast and we always need more. Our guns keep us strong and free. Without them, we're easy scrap for bandits and machines.
You could trade for them.
Some supplies we need to get on our own, or we're dependent on others. That's a burden we won't bear.
But you asked me for help.
Some burdens are welcome.
Why the urgency with this herd?
Once that herd hits the cauldron, it'll be out of our reach, and another won't come for a long while. We need those cables, and we've got to take them now. If you find those 2, send them back in one piece. If you bring me behemoth cables while you're at it, I'd be beholden to you.
Careful. It could become a habit.
Well, it sounds like those 2 are going to be in trouble, whether or not they come back, so we'll at least find them, and it sounds like we're getting these cables as well. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a trek, so we could use some help ourselves. And after running past, way too many machines, we're finally here.
You had us
hunters
wandering for hours!
Just what I'm looking for.
That's because I couldn't concentrate with you hammering on.
You kept asking me questions. When did I start smithing? Had I ever seen the elevator at Meridian? If Caleb had been here, we'd have found the herd. I would have taken it down and we'd be halfway back to Free Heap.
You want to go back?
It's not getting
Fine.
any warmer out
I
here.
don't even know why I'm here.
I don't either.
I got us this far.
You had us wandering for hours.
That's because I couldn't concentrate with you hammering on.
You kept asking me questions. When did I start smithing?
Well,
Had I
it
ever
sounds like
saw
they're
her
just gonna
coming?
loop through this dialogue for a while, so let's step in.
Are you Jagrees and Balaja? Caliph sent me to look for you.
He did? Now Petra must know we lost the herd.
No, I lost it.
I don't care who lost it. Just, why don't I track it down for you?
I couldn't let you do that. It was my responsibility, not yours or his.
We saw 3 behemoths and some shell walkers in the herd. It won't be easy alone.
I can sneak up on the herd better without... conversation.
Arguing, you mean. I'll go with you alone. Jagrees can ask his incessant questions to the wind.
Why did you even agree to the trade if you can't stand a minute of my presence? If you weren't...
Enough! Jagrees, Balaja asked you to switch with Caliph so she could spend time with you.
What?
And if I heard right, Jagrees led you off course so he could spend more time talking with you.
Really?
Now, you talk it out while I get those behemoth cables. Where did you last see the herd?
Oh, up on that ridge. And take some arrows with you.
Thanks.
Well, while these two stay here to work out some of those problems, we've got a machine herd to track down.
Got it.
So if you were confused as to why I just dismounted there for no reason, so was I. Until, it happened again. Then I kind of figured out what was happening.
They must have learned to follow the river.
It seems like for some reason, while I was on this side quest, Aloy was not allowed to talk and be on the Strider at the same time. That hasn't really happened before or since, but here is the machine herd. So, with our overriding powers now pretty much maxed out, let's disrupt the whole thing. Because, I mean, if there's gonna be 3 behemoths in this herd, I kind of want some of the machines to help. Yeah, or let's not, because, you know, there are 3 machines that are potentially throwing rocks around like it's nothing. It looks like just one shell walker isn't really going to be enough to deal with everything here, so, let's take over a behemoth. I'd say this ought to even things out a little bit more. You know, if this new behemoth would actually help out. So let's get the attention of some of these other guys over here.
It's off!
Well, normally I'd feel pretty inconvenienced if a machine of mine started accidentally hitting me, but since the other 2 behemoths are already dead, I'd say that's fair. Unfortunately for our new friend here, we do have to kind of kill it to get those machine parts.
shot.
And thankfully, it looks like we had just enough ammo to take down our behemoth friend here. So there is a lot of looting to do here, so I'm just going to skip all that and head right back to Free Heap.
You've got those behemoth cables, don't you? I knew you'd come through.
And Jagris and Baladia should be along. Eventually.
We've been expecting you ever since they came back. Whatever you did, it worked. Now they're off snogging in the shed.
Finally. She put me on guard duty for a month, so I'm glad it was worth it. Thank you.
No problem.
I see you survived their bickering.
Barely.
I could say they struggle in love because they're young, but the old rarely fare better. Thank you, Aloy, for enduring them.
We may not see Jorgris and Balaja before tomorrow at this rate.
Well, hey, good for them. And with that, it looks like Free Heap is now free of its trouble, so I think it's time we actually did some more story stuff. So coming up next, we're going to see if we can finally find what we need to take down Hades.